Stridente meets MC Driweave. Early influences.
It all started to come alive when Adam and the Ants came about. When Adam Ant kicked onto the scene in 1981 for me on Top of the Pops, I was just like, whoa, I love this guy and I love the music. And from then on, I was sold on him. And I'm still, like, all these years on, still a very avid fan to the point where I've got the tattoo on my arm, which means a lot to me. I used to listen to a DJ called John Peel on Radio 1. He used to play a lot of the up-and-coming indie music. So I was into things like Spear of Destiny, the Smiths, all that jingle jangle music. I loved all of that. And it was years later that I got introduced to house music. But when house music first came out, I didn't like it. I just thought it was like, what is this noise? Because I'd been used to like drums and proper instruments. And then suddenly everyone's like, oh, house, acid. And I was like, nah, it's just rubbish. It's boring, repetitive. And I was living in a hostel at the time, and there were some DJs who were there, and they used to practice, and they used to run a night over in Camden. And we used to go. They used to put us on the guest list, and we used to go, and I used to listen. And I just thought, wow, yeah.
DJing.
I started DJing in 1984. My friend Joy, she used to have a slot in a pub, and she's like, oh, do you know what? Do you ever DJ? And I was like, no, I've never DJed, but I'd love to. And she said, well, why don't you bring a handful of your records down to the pub, and then you can play them. I'll give you a slot to play them. So I was just over the moon, because I just thought, at last I can play my music loud and other people can enjoy my music. It was like an old man's pub in the back of the Oval, and it was just the weirdest experience, because these guys didn't want to hear the Smiths, they didn't want to hear Adam Ant, and they were like, what's this? Put the reggae back on. But, you know, it was a good experience, and that was my little foot through the door into DJing. And then I managed to get like a slot in a pub in Camden. It was the Black Cap. I covered for one of the DJs there. And after that, 2 nights down at the Vauxhall Tavern, where I used to do a women's night on a Friday and a techno night on a Sunday. And then I used to play a regular for a night called Logic in Brixton at the George IV, which is no longer there now, and on Brixton Hill. It's now a Tesco's. That was, I think, my big break there, because we started doing regular nights there on a Saturday, and then had a big party at the Fridge. And then, yeah, from that, you get to meet people and, oh, can you come and play? And one of my friends took me to Italy to play. That's how I got to play in Sicily and Rome, and that was an experience. Played in Hamburg, Spain. Yeah, just great. Ministry, love it. DJ-wise, I love my music to be kind of fast. I don't like to play my music too slow. And I used to do this thing where I used to always pitch my music up to +8. So everyone was like, ooch, 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 ooch. And just, you know, when you're drinking copious amounts of Red Bull, I used to be like there, like, do, 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 and watch these people trying to keep up with the music. But no, I don't mind. As long as it's got a good beat and a good melody, it's all good. I'll play anything, really. I'm not fussy. I think sometimes DJs are a bit precious about their music, and they're like, oh, I only play techno. And I think you're selling yourself short, really, because the money is where you're willing to be a bit more flexible. That's how I look at it. That's how I've always looked at it, which is probably why I've always had work.
Vlogging and videography.
Even from little, I've always wanted to be like a journalist and do journalistic things. So I've set up this channel called #DriweaveTV. Eventually, I'd like to set it up as a sort of a TV type channel where I can have people being interviewed on there and talk about real life things that are happening now. I did a promo for Stridente on there when Grimmates were doing their little Stridente fest. And I did a little vlogette outside Westminster, outside the Houses of Parliament. I would like that channel to be maybe really community focused and get people doing stuff that makes the world a better place.
Radio.
I started a radio show called The Link, which is on Love the Beat Radio. It's a 2-hour show And basically I've been given license to do whatever I like with it. So my intentions are to have people on as guests and do little mini interviews with them, and maybe have the first hour interviewing people with a bit of music, and then the second hour just mixing without the talking. I've been playing a lot of commercial stuff with vocals as well as a lot of dancey stuff. I'd like to do some sort of like tech house sets and stuff like that, but we'll see how it goes. It might be that I just stick with the commercial. It depends on the people. The more subscribers that we have to it, the wider varied music I might have to do. We'll see. If we get a tech house crowd in, then we'll just aim it at that. Yeah, I never really sort of saw myself as doing radio, but yeah, it's a really good experience. I think it could be a good little show. It's a good way for me to chat on the mic and do banter and have interaction with the audience. And yeah, it's great. I love it. Listen to The Link every Sunday, 4 till 6 on lovethebeatradio.com.
Future.
I'm quite passionate about kids and schools and kids being excluded and stuff like that. So I'd like to make a documentary about the youth of today and where we are with that at the moment and how we can maybe look at ways to change it. Music wise, I'd like to get back to doing some regular DJing because it's been a while. Do some international DJing, DJ abroad a bit more. That would be my focus as well, to get my name out there a bit more. Radio, yeah, like I say, I'm enjoying the show that I'm doing at the moment, and I'd like to build that up and take that to wherever it's gonna decide it's gonna go.
Social media.
You can find information on my MC Driweave DJ page on Facebook, Driweave TV on Facebook. On Instagram, you can find me on Driweave Official, and also the Love the Beat Radio. Cool. Thank you for listening.
MC Driweave, The Link, Beatcore Machine Remix.